Yes. So it is live on YouTube?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Mangalamay Mangal. Array, what will it do? Okay. मंगलमय मंगल करण वीतराग विज्ञान नमो ताहि जाते भये अरिहंतादि महा करि मंगल करि हो महा ग्रंथ करण को काज जाते मिले समाज सब पावे निज पद राज. We'll also do the Mangalacharan of chapter number 4. इस भव के सब दुख निके कारण मिथ्या भाव तिनकी सत्ता नाश करी प्रगटे मोक्ष उपाव. So we are on to the fourth chapter. One minute. Mm, the voice is coming back to me. 1 minute. Let me see how what I can do. Just give me 1 minute. I'll join from another mobile. Mm. Just a minute. I'm joining from another mobile. This recording will go on. Soumya, I am getting the voice, my voice back. Means I'm able, it's repeating, my voice is repeating. So what do I do?
Uh, Sir, is there a single microphone and speaker?
Acha, acha, this is my on, okay. Now you can hear my voice?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so just because I put in the hands free, that's why the problem was coming. Now I'm okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so we'll begin from fourth chapter, page number 126.
Sir,
Today's
you have
topic.
not allowed sharing, sir, so that I can share.
Okay, okay, 1 minute. So when I thought of share doing it, 1 minute. Yes. Now you have become the co-host?
Sir.
Yes. Okay. No problem. So our topic is page number 126. We are going to start from constitution and growth of Rag Dvesh. So the language is bit difficult, but I will explain you in simple terms. Like suppose you have a friend of yours. Okay. So I'll take 4 characters A, B, C, D. A and B are friends. Okay. B and C are foes, enemies. Okay. So A and B. So they are friends and B and C are foes. So now what is the relationship between A and C? So A considers C as foes because A is friend with B and B is foe. B and C are foes, right? So A will also be a foe of C. Now C and D are friends, okay? So A will be foe to C and foe to D, okay? So similarly, it goes on. It goes on. So in the first paragraph itself, they have considered body. The soul and the body. They consider as to be one. Okay. So whatever conditions that brings pleasure to the body. Okay. Uh, he feels attachment to it. The soul feels attachment to it, and whatever conditions that brings sorrow or unpleasantness, uncomfort to the soul, to the body, sorry, to the body, the soul also has a feeling of aversion to it. Now, supposing it's now summer and so the air condition is air condition brings pleasure feeling to the body. Okay, so the soul will have attachment to that AC, right? He will like that AC. And supposing the current goes off, then he will have aversion to that electricity because it's stopping his comfort, body's comfort, right? And similarly, it goes on. So it's not only that you are doing attachment and aversion to one particular product, but it is a series of product. And this is how we can define Anantanubandhi Kashai. Okay. So this way the series goes on. So first, in the first paragraph, they have tried to connect to the body in the same manner. In the next paragraph, they say that not only body but external objects which are not associated with the body, which has nothing to do with the body, with them also, due to delusion, due to ignorance, the soul consider it to be, you know, uh, desirable or undesirable without any logic. Examples given that cow has nothing to do with the calves, but still they have an affection feeling with them. Similarly, cat and dog. Dog is always having an aversion feeling with the cat. That is because of their past impressions, because of delusion. Similarly, cat and rat also have the same feeling. Cat has always aversion to the rat. So this goes on. So again, in the same manner as we discussed with the body, similarly, the object which are cause of attachment to us and the object which are again in connection with that attachment, similarly we will have attachment and aversion to other objects also. So again this series will get repeated. Okay, so this much we have covered. Let's first read from the textbook. I hope you will be able to understand it now with the introduction that I have given. Language is bit not very smooth, so that's why in the next sem we will have new version of Moksha Marg Prakasak when we study in the next semester, that we are starting to do now only. So by the time we reach there, it will be ready. So now onwards, whatever we will study from Moksha Marg Prakasak, it will all be a new version of Chat GPT. So at least the flow is good, so you are able to understand better. Okay, but now you will see, you will be able to understand just because I have given an introduction, but you have to be very careful to understand this. Okay, so who can read Malti ji, you read from the beginning. Constitution and growth of Rag Dvesh.
Yeah, yes, sir. Constitution and growth of rag dvesh. Now, the constitution and growth of attachment, rag, and aversion, dvesh, in this jiva are being analyzed. Primarily, this jiva is possessing oneness feeling in the embodied form, so he acts by knowing self and body to be one. When a pleasurable condition is produced in this body, agreeable to self, he feels attachment in it. And when an unpleasurable condition is produced, disagreeable to self, he feels aversion in it. He feels attachment in the external objects, which are the cause of pleasurable state of the body, and develops aversion in the destroyers of that state. And he develops aversion in the external objects, which are the cause of unpleasurable state of the body, and feels attachment in the destroyers of that state. And further, he develops attachment in those objects which are the instrumental cause of above external objects and feels aversion in their destroyers. And further develops aversion in those objects which are the instrumental cause of external objects in which he was already having aversion feeling and feels attachment in their destroyers. And among these objects also in which he feels affection, he entertains the feeling of aversion, attachment in other objects, acting as the associating cause and destroyers of them. And the objects in which he has developed aversion, he entertains the feeling of aversion attachment in the other objects, acting as the associating cause and destroyers of them. In this way, the tradition of attachment aversion continues. Further, in those many external objects which are not the cause of producing any condition in the body, in them too, he feels attachment aversion. For example, nothing good of the body is caused to the cows, etc., from its calves. Even then, the cows feel affection in them, and nothing bad of the body is caused to the dogs, etc., from the cats, etc., yet they entertain the feeling of aversion in them. Further, nothing good of the body is caused by perceiving of many of the colors, smells, words, tune, etc. Even then, this jeev feels affection in them, and nothing bad of the body is caused by perceiving, etc., of many of the colors, etc. Yet the jeev feels aversion in them. In this way, the attachment aversion feeling is generated towards different external objects. Further, in these objects too, in which he feels attachment, he develops attachment aversion in other objects too, acting as the supporting cause and the destroyers of them. And one object in which he feels aversion, he develops aversion attachment in other objects too, acting as the supporting cause and the destroyers of them. Similarly, here too, the tradition of attachment aversion continues.
Stop. So you could make out the series of attachment and aversion that goes on in this chain. So the primary cause is delusion. Because of delusion, you feel something to be desirable and something undesirable. Whereas the fact is, the reality is that all other non-self substances are not desirable to us and undesirable to us. They are just non-self substances. Okay. But because of delusion, because of ignorance, this soul feels some object to be desirable, and the object which he feels desirable, he develops a feeling of attachment to it. And the object which he feels undesirable, automatically he develops a feeling of aversion to them. So this feeling of attachment and aversions due to delusion goes on. And it is not only the one object that we are doing it. It's a chains, it's series. And in this way, the expansion of this attachment and aversion goes on. Okay. So this is the gist. So first they considered this condition with the body, and then with external objects which are in no way related to the body. Okay. In them also they feel attachment and aversion. Again, the root cause is delusion. So the given example of cow and calves, and dog and cats, you can also take it as cat and rats. And similarly, we don't have any connections, with the, like now cricket matches being played between India and Pakistan. So we have nothing to do about it. But unnecessarily we also manifest attachment and aversion, nothing in our hand unnecessarily. These are all because of the cause of because the root cause would be delusion, and the underlying cause would be uh, wrong conduct. Okay. So wrong belief, wrong knowledge, and wrong conduct. So we are now discussing the wrong conduct. Okay. So all these passions, all these auspicious and inauspicious sentiments that we manifest, some of them are because of direct relation with the body, and some external objects which have nothing to do. There also we manifest attachment and aversion unnecessarily with no purpose. Okay. So this is the story of a deluded soul. We don't know why we are binding such karmas, and in ignorance we bind infinite karmas which directly we have nothing to do. And the transmigration goes on, the cycle of death and birth goes on. And this has been uh, our conduct since time immemorial. Okay. So here in this fourth chapter, we are just discussing what are the flaws that we committed in terms of wrong belief, wrong knowledge, and wrong conduct. Okay. So this is what we are discussing about the conduct. Now, there is a question on page number 127. Okay. Uh, what it says, yeah, we'll begin from this question. Why then we call these as false conduct? This is being said as false conduct because we are doing it purposeless. No, without any benefit, without any purpose, we are manifesting attachment and aversion. If we have some purpose and then we manifest attachment and aversion, then it will not be termed as wrong conduct. But we don't have any purpose and we are manifesting unnecessarily attachment and aversion. That's why it is called false conduct. Okay, wrong conduct. So that is this question coming up. And Madhuji, you read.
Yes, sir. Question. The purpose of having attachment, aversion, feeling in the other non-self objects is understood. But primarily, what is the purpose of believing good or bad in the basic states of the body in the objects which are not the cause of the state of the body? Answer. Firstly, whatever basic states of the body are there, even in them, if he feels attachment, aversion, keeping the purpose in view, why would it then be termed as mithya charitra, wrong conduct? In them, purposelessly, he develops the feeling of attachment, aversion, and for the sake of them, only he feels attachment, aversion in the other objects. Therefore, all passional modifications, all sorts of attachment, aversion, etc., are termed mithya charitra, that is wrong conduct. Question: This much, this much seems to be clear that no purpose
Stop.
is
Stop.
served in developing.
Stop.
Oh,
Madhuji, stop.
yes, yes.
Okay. So this question, let's understand. So there is no purpose, and this soul, because of delusion, is manifesting different kinds of passion. I'll give you an example. Like we do have anger in our day-to-day life with our family members, with our servants, with our associates, wherever we have expectation and things doesn't uh, happen according to our expectation, the anger passion rises, right? You must have seen, if you want the servant to be doing things in a certain way, and if he doesn't do that way, then you scold him. ऐसे ऐसा बोला था, ऐसा क्यों नहीं किया, क्यों नहीं किया? Just because he is working, so you are uh, taking him to task. But at the same point of time, if you are able to understand the independent nature of each substance, the independent nature of each attribute, and the independent nature of each modification, okay, then you would realize that it was destined to be that, it was destined to happen in that manner. And that servant is not the doer, he is an observer. And whatever actions that are being taking place because of his body, mind, and speech are all independent. Okay, it is your past karmas that is coming into fruition, inauspicious karma, and that's why things are not happening according to your expectation, according to your desire, right? And just because you are not comprehend things in this manner, that's why you are manifesting anger. Okay, so when you realize that nature of things is so good, it's so independent, it is so automation mode, that there is nothing to, you know uh, blame anybody, manifest any kind of passions anywhere. You are an observer, just observe whatever is happening, you observe whether it is according to your desire or not. You have to accept it. Okay, so if you learn accepting things as they are, at least you will not manifest passions, right? But we are not ready to accept things as they are, although we may say very good things while studying. But when it comes to practical, every moment there is a practical that you need to do. Every moment there is a challenge. Challenge is not to manifest attachments or aversions. Now, this attachment and aversions, if you divide it, the 25 passions, out of that, 13 are attachments and 12 are aversions. Total 25 passions, just because male sex, female sex, and neuter sex. These are three. Okay, so 16 passions, four major passions, and four levels. 4 into 4, 16, plus 9 quasi passions. Okay, so out of that, uh, 13 are related to attachments and 12 are related to aversions. And uh, this is the reason, because of delusion you are unnecessarily manifesting these passions. Now, when you align yourself with the nature of things, when you align yourself with the understanding of substance, attributes, and modification, when you align yourself with the understanding of sequence bound modification, that topic that we are going to start next week, very interesting topic. So if you have everything, every understanding in your knowledge, then you will not manifest, you will not react. And if you are not reacting, that means you are manifesting passionlessness, you are manifesting detachment. Okay, so then you will not manifest attachment and aversions. So far the ignorance will be there, these things will happen. Okay, but having said that, even in a fourth stage, who is a right believer, okay, so he is not having the infinite uh, anantanubandhi kashai. Okay, um, infinite bounded passions. Okay, he may not have that level, but the other three levels are present at the fourth stage. So still he is manifesting, although the weightage is very less of those passions. Okay, but there is some detachment and there is some attachment running simultaneously from fourth stage of spiritual development to 12th stage. It's a mixed state. Okay, before fourth it is only attachments and aversions, there is no purity. But in the fourth stage the internal purity starts, and there is a detachment and there is attachment, both simultaneously existing in the modification. Okay, and gradually as you practice more discriminative knowledge, the purity goes on increasing, the impurity goes on decreasing, and there comes a time when complete purity is manifested and complete impurities is wiped out, and that is the 12th stage. Okay, so this is how the soul has been manifesting passions unnecessarily. If there was a purpose and if we manifest passions, then it would be termed as mithya charitra. Okay, but just because he is doing it purposelessly, that's why it is termed as wrong conduct. Now the next question. In the next question, they are establishing the relationship, the instrumental cause and effect relationship between the between the uh, toxic emotions that a soul manifests and the external objects, because this feeling of attachment and aversion does not arise when you take shelter in the soul. This feeling of attachment and aversion only arise when there is when you are taking shelter of an external objects, because this attachment and aversion feelings does not arise on its own. It is only when you take shelter in external objects, either you develop a feeling of attachments or an aversion. Okay, so this is called instrumental cause and effect relationship. Okay, there this is mentioned in the next question, and in the next paragraph, after the first paragraph of the answer, the second paragraph of the answer further analyzes these and say that the internal uh, instrumental cause of karma, that is very powerful. Okay, the external objects are still neutral. Okay, but because of our internal rise of karmas, we consider some objects to be beneficial and some to be not beneficial, and so the attachment and aversion continues in this form. Okay, so this is mentioned in the next paragraph, and in the next paragraph they have defined the different kinds of passion, 25 types of passions, uh, and these are only an expansion of attachments and aversions. Okay, 13 are attachment and 12 are aversion. That is the third paragraph of the answer. And the fourth paragraph, uh, there are different names given to this wrong conduct. Okay, mithya charitra has synonyms like acharitra, asanyam, avirati. These are just synonyms only, they mean the same thing. Okay, and the next paragraph would be the conclusion. So I've explained the answer of the whole question in a nutshell. Now we will be reading this whole question and you will be able to understand it better, hopefully. So Soumya, you read.
Question. This much seems to be clear that no purpose is served in developing the feeling of good or bad in the state of the body and in the external objects, yet one is not able to abstain from developing the feeling of good or bad in the same. What is the reason? Answer. Owing to the rise of Charitra Moha Karma, the attachment, aversion feelings are caused to this jiva, and those feelings cannot be caused without developing association with some object. For example, if attachment feeling is developed, it must be based on some object, and if aversion feeling is developed, it too must be based on some object. Thus, there exists the cause and effect relationship between those objects and the attachment aversion feelings. There, the specific point is only this that many objects are predominantly the cause of attachment feeling and many other objects are predominantly the cause of aversion feeling. Many objects act as the cause of attachment feeling to someone in some particular time and act as the cause of aversion feeling to someone in some particular time. Here, it should be known that there are many instrumental causes in the evolution of a modification. In the evolution of attachment feelings, etc., the internal cause is the rise of Mohini karma. It is the strong cause, and the external cause is the associated object. It is not a strong cause. Due to feeble rise of Mohini karma, the great ascetics do not develop the feeling of attachment aversion in spite of the instrumentality of external objects. On the other hand, even in the absence of external causes, due to intense rise of Mohini karma, the wicked jivas develop the feeling of attachment in those objects by mere imagination. Therefore, attachment, etc., passional dispositions are evolved due to the rise of moh karma. There, the external object with the association of which attachment feeling is to be evolved in that object without any purpose or with some purpose, attachment feeling is developed, and that external object with the association of which aversion feeling is to be developed in that object without any purpose or with some purpose, aversion feeling is developed. Therefore, due to the rise of Mohini, one is not able to abstain from developing the feeling of good or bad in the objects. In this way, whatever attachment aversion form of conduct is caused due to believing the objects good or bad, that is termed mithya charitra. And the anger, pride, deceit, greed, laughter, liking, disliking, sorrow, fear, disgust, female sex passion, male sex passion, neuter sex passion, forms of passional dispositions are nothing but the details of these attachment aversion feelings only. All these are the subdivisions of Mithya Charitra only. All these have already been described earlier. And in this conduct, there is absence of self-absorption form of conduct. Therefore, it is also termed as acharitra, non-conduct. And here those passional thoughts are not destroyed or are not free from attachment. Therefore, it is there is this is called asanyam, incontinence or avirati, volitionless. Because if there is unrestrained involvement in the object of five senses and mind, and in the injury of five kinds of immobile being as well as mobile beings, and the thoughts of renouncing them do not arise, the same is termed as 12 kinds of incontinence or volitionless. Such activities take place on the evolution of the passional dispositions. Hence, know that Mithyacharit is called asanyam or avirati. This is also termed as avrat, bowlessness, because indulgence in sinful acts of injury, falsehood, theft, unchastity, and hoarding is called avrat. The root cause of all tendencies is the pramatta yoga, the activity actuated by passions. The pramatta yoga is full of passions. Therefore, mithyacharit is also called avrat, bowlessness. In this way, the nature of wrong conduct, mithya has been described. In this way, the tendency of wrong belief, wrong knowledge, and wrong conduct is found in the mundane beings since eternity. This type of conduct is found in all kind of jivas from one-sensed, etc., up to the irrational five-sensed beings. And accepting true believers, such kind of conduct is found in all the rational five-sensed beings. Whatever type of conduct be possible in whichever state of existence, the same should be understood in that context. For example, the one-sensed being, etc., are found possessed with less or more senses and the attachment of wealth, son, etc. is found in the human beings only. With the consideration of these things only, the wrong belief, etc., are described here. And whatever peculiarities are possible in whichever state of existence, the same should be understood in that context. Further, the one-sensed beings, etc., do not know the name of the senses, body, etc., but the disposition which signifies the meaning of that name, they are found indulging in them in the aforesaid manner. For instance, I touch with the touch sense, body is mine. Such word or name is not known to him. Nevertheless, it indulges in that disposition which signifies its meaning, and the human beings, etc., know many of the names too, and tend to indulge according to their characteristics. Such many types of peculiarities are possible in different contexts.
Stop. So you see the whole. Have you understood, or it's getting difficult to understand?
So what
Understood.
is this Pramatyo?
Pramat.
Yes.
Pramad
It's
is negligence. Pramad is negligence, procrastination. So, in
Pramad.
general terms,
Basically, this is Pramadyo.
yeah, Pramad Yog. Pramad Yog means unawareness of mind, speech, and body. So if you are not aware, if you are not due diligent, in your activities of mind, speech, and body, it is called Pramad. Okay. So at the soul level, we call it as asavdhani. Asavdhani means you are not careful. Okay. So because of this pramad yoga, the passions happen, because there are 15 subdivisions of pramad, that is negligence. Okay. And in that 15 divisions, four are major passions: anger, pride, deceit, and greed. Okay. Then four are vikatha. Vikatha are those stories which are, we can say that doesn't serve our purpose. Useless stories, vikatha. Like just now I was telling you that we keep on discussing between India Pakistan match when we have personally nothing to do with that. you know so these are vikatha. So there are four kinds of vikatha. The gossips about the food, then the gossips about the ladies, Stri Katha, Bhojan Katha, Rajya Katha, gossips about the politics. And there is one more, Stri Katha, Rajya Katha, Bhojan Katha, and one more, what Soumya it is?
Sir, I think Chor Katha.
Chor Katha, yeah, Chor Katha, right. This is Chor Katha, right. So these are the major four. And in these four kind of gossips also, the underlying cause is the passions. Okay. So four major passions, and then these four vikatha, eight, and then we have five senses. Okay. The object of senses, sensual pleasures. So that is also again related to passions only. Okay. So 4 plus 4, 8 plus 5, 13. And then we have one is about the sleep, nidra, and sneh. I think sneh, affection, liking, All these are 15 divisions of pramad, negligence. Okay. So majority of them are passions. Okay. So because of that, the in this whole discussion, the root cause is delusion. First, in the first place, the delusion is there, and because of delusion, you are considering some object to be desirable and some to be undesirable, and that's where the series of attachments and aversion begins, and it goes on, expanding, expanding, and expanding, and nothing, no purpose is being solved. Unnecessarily, the soul, because of ignorance, because of his delusion, he has been suffering, binding karmas, infinite karmas, without any cause, without any purpose. you know each and every soul is in itself a god. Okay. This is the truth and this is the fact. Even we believe ourselves to be an individual, like, I am Hebali, I am Malti, I am this, I am earning money, I am doing for the family, I am taking care of the children. We have many kind of misbelief regarding ourselves, but we don't become the doer. That is the main thing. We remain an observer only. Although we believe ourselves to be a doer, and by believing that wrongly believing, we are binding infinite karmas every moment, purposelessly. This is the, I think, climax of, the climax of the delusion, unnecessary, no purpose, unnecessarily we are binding so many karmas every moment, you know. Now, when you understand the things in the right perspective, right, that there is no way that I can do anything for any other substances, okay, then when you know the independent nature of each substance, attributes, and modification, and when you know that you are just an observer, okay, then same things are going to happen, but the difference would be that you will not be manifesting attachments and aversion. And if you are not manifesting attachment and aversion, that means whatever is reflecting on your knowledge screen, you are able to absorb it and you are not reacting. Okay, that is where you don't bound the karmas. Okay, and to manifest that, you have to take shelter in your soul. So every time when we want to do anything in this path of spiritual development, we have to take shelter of our pure soul. The moment we take shelter of our pure soul, the attachment and aversion does not arise. Okay, so whatever we read, whatever we contemplate, whatever we arrive at a conclusion, one thing is very certain, that our all endeavor should be to take shelter in our soul. Our all endeavor should be to remove our active consciousness, upyog, from external things towards the self. And when it goes to the self, uh, it it becomes one with the soul, and the self realization happens. And it's a very nice feeling of, unperturbedness, nirakulta, you know, and that is the true eternal bliss. So this is should be done this way. And just because of delusion, all these instrumental cause and effect relationship are happening. So even an attachment is manifesting, it will only manifest when you take shelter in some external objects. And why you will take shelter in your external object? Because of the ignorance, because of delusion, you believe something to be beneficial, then you manifest a feeling of attachment, and something as harmful, then you develop a feeling of aversion towards that. Okay, so the root cause delusion, and because of delusion, the wrong knowledge and the wrong conduct continues. Okay, so this is what in a nutshell we explained. Now in the third paragraph, okay, the second paragraph says that the in all these things, the external objects are not that powerful, but the rise of karma is powerful. Because of the rise of karma, you believe external objects to be a cause of benefit or harm to you. But in reality, external objects are external objects. They are neither a cause of benefit nor a harm. Okay, but because of delusion, you feel that way, and that's why the rise of the karma is there, which we only have bounded earlier, and that is coming into fruition. And when that comes into fruition and you don't understand this technology, then you have no other choice but to manifest attachments or aversion. And in this way, the cycle of material karma to psychic karma, when because of psychic karma, new karmas are bound, and that will come into fruition. So this cycle goes on, dravya karma to bhav karma to dravya karma. This cycle goes on, and to break this cycle, we have to take shelter in our soul and manifest right belief. And with right belief, the knowledge will turn right, and the conduct will also become right. Okay, in the third paragraph, they have mentioned the name of all the passions. Now, I would like you to tell me which are a cause of attachment and which are a cause of aversion. Okay. So anger and pride, what it is?
Aversion.
Very good. Deceit and greed, Madhuji.
Deceit will be again aversion only.
No, attachment.
We are deceiving someone. So
Yeah,
But we are
anger is
attached to the money or the reward. We are attached to the reward.
okay.
So it is
Is it-
attachment, okay? And greed
okay.
also is an attachment, okay? So four major passions and there are four levels. So there will be also the same, okay? So we have covered 16. Now laughter, attachment or aversion, Hemali?
So attachment.
Yes. Liking, Somya?
Attachment.
Yeah.
Attachment.
The
Disliking?
attachment. Aversion.
Aversion.
Right. Sorrow?
Attachment.
No,
Attachment.
aversion.
Aversion.
Disliking also aversion. Sorrow also aversion. Fear,
Aversion.
Aversion.
aversion. Very good. Disgust.
Aversion.
Aversion.
Very good. Females expression, males expression, and neutrals expression attachments.
Attachment.
So 13 attachment and 12 aversion. This forms the universe of the whole passions, and the underlying cause is mithya charitra. Okay. And why mithya charitra is there? Because of mithya darshan, that is delusion. Okay. So all these have been discussed time and again. Now we come to the conclusion. And in this conduct, there is absence of self-absorption. Self-absorption is Swarupachran Charitra. Swarupachran Charitra only manifests when there is a right belief. But we are discussing wrong conduct. Okay. So there is absence of self-absorption form of conduct. Therefore, it is also termed as acharitra. So mithya charitra is also termed as acharitra, non-conduct. And here, those passional thoughts are not destroyed or are not free from attachment. Therefore, this is called ansayam, incontinence. It is also called non-restraint. Okay. Or avirati. Avirati means woelessness. Okay. So you are not able to take the partial vows, anuvrat. So it is called avirati. So avirati is the stage, fourth stage, fourth stage is called avirati. So although your belief has turned right, but still in terms of conduct, you are not able to renounce the sensual pleasures. You are not able to renounce the violence to the six types of living beings. All these forms avirati. Because if there is unrestrained involvement in the objects of five senses and mind, okay, six this aviratis there are 12 divisions. So five senses and mind, that is one part. And the injury or the violence, not the injury, a better word would be violence. Violence of five kinds of immobile beings. Immobile beings means one sensed being, as well as mobile beings means thrust, two sensed to five sensed. So the whole, with these six, all types of living being has been covered. Okay. So as a one, and the thoughts of renouncing them do not arise. So you are not able to renounce the violence also, and you are also not able to renounce the sensual pleasures also. So this is the fourth stage. Okay. Although the belief has turned right, so this avirati is also termed as mithya charitra. Okay. So all these are synonyms. And the thoughts of renouncing them do not arise. The same is termed as 12 kinds of incontinence or voluminousness. Now, one thing you should understand is we are discussing only wrong conduct. So, is wrong conduct is there because of delusion. So, we are not now discussing about the enlightened souls, samyak drashti. No, we are not discussing about this. Just because these are all termed as mithya charitra, so it's being explained here so that you don't only take the wrong conduct only. Along with wrong conduct, this Absence of self-absorption is also a wrong conduct, and it is also termed as acharitra. It is also termed as asanyam, incontinence or non-restraint, because there is no restraint, any type of restraint. Okay, so all these are being explained. Hence, know that mithya charitra is called asanyam or avirati. This is also termed as avrat, woelessness, because indulgence in sinful activity of violence, falsehood, theft, adultery, and possessions. Hoardings means possession, parigra. Okay, hinsa, jhoot, chori, kushil, and parigra is called avrat. If there is a partial renunciation, then you have anuvrat, minor vows. And if it is a complete renunciation, then you have mahavrat, the major vows which are related to the monks only. Okay. The root cause of all these tendency is the pramat yog. Okay. The pramat yog, pramat means pramad. Okay. And we now discuss the 15 divisions of pramad, and we found out that all are related to passions.
Sir,
The
I have a
active,
question.
yes,
In this conduct, that is the fourth stage, you said, understanding things but unable to leave them, like sensual pleasure, and one more thing you said, what was it?
that was the violence of the 6 type of living beings. You know, one sensed 5 beings and the mobile beings, immobile beings and mobile beings. Indriya Sanyam
Violence.
or Prani Sanyam.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Hmm.
Thank you.
Hmm. So this Pramat Yoga is full of passions. Therefore, Mithya Charitra is also called Avrat. In this way, the nature of wrong conduct has been described. Okay. In all the discussions, I feel the importance is again that we should direct our efforts to get rid of delusion first. Not we should not direct our effort in improving our mind, speech, and body. Okay, because this we have done in many a times, but we never attack on the crux of the problem. You know, that is the root cause of the problem, that is delusion. Okay, so for delusion, again you have very shortcut. You know, delusion, you have to study the Jinwani, analyze, contemplate, and decision. Bas, that's all. Beyond that, your effort does not work. Okay, so in terms of effort to get rid of delusion, we have to do 3 things, and that is what we are doing right now. We are studying the scriptures. We are trying to uh, understand the nature of things as they are. You know, we have, because of our delusion, we have assumed many things in many ways, because of our past experience, because of our past impressions, because of our associations that we are in, because of the environment we are in. You know, all these factors plays a role in shaping up our understanding. Okay, and because we all have different types of karmas coming into fruition, so we have different kinds of associations, different kinds of problems, different kinds of eligibility. Okay, so we have to understand at our level what what mean what it means to me to get rid of delusion, what I have to do, right? What are the advantages that I have got in this particular life? Now, nobody of us has to go to work in the morning. You know, the moment, you know, the laborers you see across the uh, construction laborers and other types of uh, people who are working, you know, so they get to work at 8 o'clock in the morning. You know, they don't go to mandir, they don't have access to anything. So we are so fortunate that all of us in such a happy space that we can spend time to read this Jinwani. Maybe 15 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour, you know. And those who are very uh, fortunate to have good amount of money, they should stop earning money, because for this life you have earned. So now spend all of your time in reading this Jinwani and eradicate the delusion. As you know that delusion doesn't go in one stroke. It's a gradual process, or although it will go in one moment, because one moment ago the uh, modification was under the influence of delusion, and in the next moment the right belief evolves, right? So it happens in one moment, but there is a process before that, and we are all into that process, and in the best means. Okay, the access to this kind of scriptures, the Mokshmar Prakasak, if you see the analysis in the whole of wrong conduct, the main cause is delusion. So delusion has already been explained, but in terms of wrong conduct also, Toder Malji has given us so many logics to just to identify that what we are doing purposelessly. There is no purpose, but unnecessarily we are binding so many karmas because of our delusion and ignorance. Okay, so in terms of wrong conduct also, Toder Malji has explained us in such a nice manner that uh, uh, getting hold of all these understandings together makes you so powerful to suppress that delusion. Okay, and you are doing it also, and you will be successful also if you continue in the same manner. Only thing is, it is a matter of time. I'll give you a very good example for this. So uh, in one of the clinics there was an experiment that four persons were there, uh, and all those four persons took sleeping pills. Okay, so the first person took 5 sleeping pills. Okay, the second one took 4 sleeping pills. The third one took 3 sleeping pills. The fourth one took 2 sleeping pills. Okay, now question is, who will come first out of that sleepiness, right? So obviously the one who has taken 2 sleeping pills will come out first, then the 3 sleeping pills, then the fourth. In the similar fashion, we don't know how much karmas we have bound in the past. The moment we get this life, new life, we forget everything of the past, where we were in previous birth, what were the sufferings in there, and what good deeds we did so that we get this human life. So there is no way that you can have your flashback coming to you that these are the mistakes you have made in the past, right? So we don't have any kind of that facility. The hellish being and the celestial beings, they have this Audi Gyan, by default, by birth, they have this Audi Gyan, and because of this Audi Gyan, they are able to understand their mistakes, what they have done in the past, why they are here, who, what harm they had done in the past, and why they are attacking you now. They are able to relate everything, right? But we don't have that facility, and that's why we forget everything, and whatever the rise of karmas are there, we start acting accordingly. But the one who read the scriptures and one who understand this technique of how to get rid of all these past karmas, because whatever level of karmas we have bounded in the past, the present is in our hand. We are free to exercise our choices. We are free to exercise our power of knowledge. That is very important. So if you are upgraded with this knowledge, how to practice discriminative knowledge, how to take shelter in your soul, you know all the karmas coming together also will not be able to make you miserable or sorrowful. You are independent to remain in eternal bliss. No, not a single karma is will be able to bound you in any manner, influence you in any manner, provided you choose not to. Okay, and that choice is there with the privileged ones who study the scriptures. Okay, and the acharyas have explained everything, each and every technique, you know and the kind of analysis that we see the Todarmalji, Pandit Todarmalji has done, he has given us enough impetus, enough, I can say, leads, to come out of this cycle of death and birth. The first target would be to get rid of delusion. Okay. Now the conclusion is coming up. In this way, the tendency of wrong belief, wrong knowledge, and wrong conduct is found in the mundane beings since eternity. No beginning, since eternity. This is our story. And Todarmalji took so much time to explain all these just because we don't know which soul will pick up what. Even in one line also, if you understand, one line also, if you are understand and it touches your heart, your journey will begin. Okay. So all this has been so vividly explained. This type of conduct is found in all kinds of jeev, from one sense, etc., up to the irrational. Irrational means mindless, without mind, five sensed being. Okay. So they don't have any way to put in the efforts because they don't have mind. And accepting true believers, such kind of conduct is found in all the rational five sense being, those beings with mind. They are also into this, except the true believers. True believers are out of this bracket. So we are now discussing wrong conduct. So true believers doesn't come into this. Whatever type of conduct be possible in whichever state of existence, there are four state of existence. So if someone is hell, if someone is in subhuman state, if someone is celestial being, whatever possible, the same should be understood in that context. For example, the one sense beings, etc., are found possessed with less or more senses. So one sense have one sense, two sense have two sense, and the attachment of wealth, son, etc., is found only in the human beings. Money, wealth is only associated with human being. All other three states of existence doesn't have anything to do with the money. Okay. With the consideration of these things, only the wrong belief, etc., are described here. So whatever we explained in terms of wrong belief, wrong knowledge, and wrong conduct, you have to consider each as a particular case depending on what individual is, whether it is one sensed or two sensed, but more or less it is of the similar kind. Whatever peculiarities are possible in whichever state of existence, the same should be understood in that context. So Todarmalji gave us an overall view. Like if you are in this state, this will be the problem. Okay. Further, the one sensed being, etc., do not know the name of the senses body. Only the humans have this, uh, we can say, the व्यवहार of talking. The other one sense, two sense, they don't talk only. They don't know the name of the senses, body, etc. But the disposition which signifies the meaning of that name, they are found indulging in them in the aforesaid manner. Although they may not know the name, but they are doing the same thing under the influence of delusion. So delusion is called the grandfather of all sins. Greed is called the father of sins, and delusion is called the grandfather of all sins. For instance, I touch with the touch sense. Body is mine. Such word or name is not known to him. Nevertheless, it indulges in that disposition which signifies its meaning. And the human beings, etc., know many of the names too, and tend to indulge according to their characteristics. Such many types of peculiarities are possible in different contexts. Okay, so we have covered very nicely the wrong conduct. Hope you have understood partially, but one more time if you read, or two times if you read, you will understand everything absolutely very nicely. Only the glitch is about the language. The flow of the language is not that good in this. That's only a dragger. But hopefully in the next sem we will have good reading. But Nevertheless, I have understood, I have given you the introduction, the conclusion, everything. So I feel now you will be able to understand with little bit of carefulness. You will be able to understand language is one part, but our spiritual progress is another part. And if we are destined to get spiritually progressed, all the things will fall in places. We will understand, we will get the right context. Everything that has happened to us so far all indicates that we are in for a good time. Okay, so enjoy yourself, uh, understand things as they are, and there is no problem in this universe with anybody. Okay, only thing is we are not able to analyze that problem and provide the solution. Okay, but here Todarmalji has given us enough of, I would say, knowledge to navigate all those problems in our life and be happy in all the spaces. Now, the next topic is very important, the glory of delusion. There are 11 points in it. And the last time I told you that this glory word has been used 5 times in the Moksha Marg Prakashak. And this topic's name in Hindi is Moh Ki Mahima, the glory of delusion. Okay. So we will straightway begin with the 11 points in this whole paragraph or whole article, 1.5 page it says only. And in that 1.5 page, it's the concluding part of this whole chapter. Under the influence of wrong belief, wrong knowledge, and wrong conduct, what are the things that happens to a soul with wrong belief, wrong knowledge, and wrong conduct? That has been explained, and the root cause is delusion. So that has been glorified. You know, there is a problem in terms of wrong conduct also, and in terms of wrong knowledge also. But Todarmalji says as you don't work for it, you work on the delusion. That is the main point. And that's why the delusion has been glorified so that you realize its importance, you know. And once you realize it's important, once you know that where you need to work on, it will be a very shortcut, you know. The other day I gave you an example of an automatic factory, and that fellow charged 10 lakhs rupees to repair that. And in terms of repairing, what he did, he just took a hammer and put it at one place and the machine started working. So did he get 10 lakhs rupees for just putting one hammer on the machine? No. At which place it has to be done? That was the important thing. And that was because of his past experience, his knowledge, his perfection, whatever you call his skill. That was the factor for paying him 10 lakhs. And here, Todarmalji is also helping us to zero in on that factor, the delusion. And that's why I have given this topic as a CC1 of to you. Okay. So this is CC1 to you, and you should write it very nicely. And the solution. The solution is not given here. Okay. So that is for you to write it. Okay. That will be your creative development. Okay. So understand it very nicely. And then whatever comes to your mind in terms of solution, you can write it. There could be many points to it. Okay. So just explore, just give a thought to it. What could be the best solution step by step, what we could do. And this will also be help you to analyze the problem and also to find the solution. So it's going to help us in all ways. Okay. All the
Sir, I
way.
just want to know one thing. Isn't it ironical, the glory of delusion?
Yes. So we have been under the influence of delusion from time immemorial, no beginning. And now we have taken up this task to get rid of this. This itself is a very big task. And it's not that big task that you will not be able to do it. It's possible. But the condition is that you have to work in a smart manner. And that smart manner, Todarmalji has explained us very nicely in Mokshmar Prakashak. Throughout Mokshmar Prakashak, one thing I like about Todarmalji is the way in which he analyzes the things. And if we are also able to analyze things in the same manner, all the problems will be forthcoming very easily. You will be able to solve it very easily. Okay, whatever be the nature of problem, the solutions are very simple. Okay, so there could be 1 lakh problem, but the solution is one. Okay, so we understand the solution, and if we apply it, we will be successful. So this delusion, which has been with us since time immemorial, now we have decided to get rid of this. So Todarmalji here explains us that this delusion has got many forms. Okay, and even this delusion is so dangerous, so powerful, that even a monk is able to take control of that monk also. The monk who has already get rid of delusion and has manifested the right belief in the 4th stage, then with further practice he has attained the 5th stage, and then with further practice and renouncing household and everything, he has become a monk, and he has got rid of the 3 levels of passions: anantanubandhi, apratyakhan, and pratyakhan. And still the delusion is so powerful that the delusion is able to uh, bring monk to the 1st stage. From 7th stage, the monk falls into and gets to the 1st stage. So that much is powerful is delusion. So at our level, we have to be very careful. Okay. And that's why with 11 points, Todarmalji has tried to explain us that where this delusion exists, you identify it and you solve it. Okay. So 11 points, and with each point, if you are able to give examples from your personal life, it will be a very great analysis for yourself. Okay. And I will check it, and if there is something to be added to those understanding that you have already developed, I will tell you one to one. Okay. So this much time I'm ready to put in, provided you also put in some time and analyze this and then apply it to your day-to-day life and find out the problems. Okay. So first problem, first point, such disposition of wrong belief, etc. So wrong belief, wrong knowledge, and wrong conduct are found in this Jeev since eternity. These are not imbibed afresh. Behold its greatness. Whatever embodied form this Jeev attains, whatever modification, whatever state of existence the Jeev attains, there at in that particular state of existence, such sort of aforesaid conduct only is found automatically. Automatically to this Jeev, even without any sermonization, without any teachings, without any preachings, due to the rise of Moh, deluding karma. So this is the first point. So whatever modification we have got since time immemorial, in every modification we have done 4 things: oneness, mindness, doership, and enjoyership of those modifications. Okay. So whatever life we have attained without teaching, without preaching, okay, without any formal training, we have developed this sense of oneness, mindness, doership, enjoyership of those substances with which we have come in contact with. Okay, without teaching only. Okay, So this has been our journey since time immemorial. Every time we transmigrated to a new modification, okay, to a new state of existence. And in that state of existence, by default, we have done these four flaws: oneness, mineness, doership, and enjoyership. And because of that, we have suffered. We have suffered immensely. There could not be any description. We already read this in Chaydala and also in this Moksha Marg Prakasak also. What are the miseries of a one sense being, two sense being, three sense being, four sense being, five sense being, and all four state of existence. And because of the eight karmas, what is happening, everything was defined in the third chapter. Okay, so that you can revisit again and you can understand where we have been doing mistakes. Okay, so this is the first point. The second point, and in the human beings, etc., even in even on meeting the causes of right thinking. So you have got a human form, which is again very, very rare to get, but by your good luck, you have got it. Okay. But even if on meeting the causes of right thinking, you are able to channelize your thought in the right manner. You have got access to true God, true scriptures, and true monks. Okay. Even on meeting the causes of right thinking, right form of conduct is not evolved. You never manifested the right belief. And your journey of blemishes continues. You keep on making blemishes, you keep on making wrong decisions, right? And your misery continues. You're not able to get rid of miseries. You've been suffering, suffering, suffering in every birth you took. Okay? So, right form of conduct. Just because you don't have a right belief, the right conduct also is not evolved. Third point, even if the chance of the discourse of a real monk is available, okay, so you are fortunate, you are born in this human life, you are born in this Jain family, you have got access to true God, true scriptures, and true monks, okay, and you have the chance of getting a discourse preaching from the real monk, the monk who has renounced the three levels of passions. That kind of monk you have got access to is available, and he may admonish repeatedly, he may explain you repeatedly, but this fellow, he does not pay any attention. So do the monks explain you repeatedly, as has been written here? What it means? And he may admonish repeatedly. So the monks doesn't have that level of attachment that he will repeatedly, as I am doing it, in every class, I give you some kind of advice to get rid of delusion, to take shelter of the self, right? So that kind of attachment the real monks doesn't have. But here it is written, he may admonish. Admonish means explain, make you understand. He may admonish repeatedly, but he does not pay any attention. So the monks doesn't teach you repeatedly. Here it means that monks have told you only once, but it is your responsibility to contemplate it again and again. And if you don't contemplate about that thought, then it will be just a passing thought. You will forget in few days, and in few months you will even also forget that monk has given you some preachings. You know, so that is the state of human being. To our whole day, we have many thoughts coming into our mind, but how many we are able to stick to it? There are some good, wonderful thoughts that comes to our mind every day, which are cream. If you hang on to it, if you try to expand on this, right, you will have a very good life coming to you. But just because our delusion is there, we are under the influence of delusion. Even if we get the right kind of advice, we are not able to stick to it. You know, You go to a doctor and doctor says you don't eat this and that and that and that, you will be fine. But we are not able to do it because of our past tendencies, past impressions, the rise of karmas, all these factors, multiple factors working on us, and we know that this is harmful to me. A diabetic patient knows that eating sweets is harmful to him, but he is not able to stop it. There have been stories that, uh, you know, uh, the people who are suffering from diabetes, when everybody is sleeping in the night, he steals those sweets from the fridge and eat. This kind of tendency has been seen because the desire to consume that is more than his mind working at his own welfare. The desires have won. And so he knows that this is harmful to my health, but still he is not able to leave it. There is drug addicts. There are people who are smoking. Nowadays there comes a photo of cancer, suffering from cancer people on the pack of the cigarette. Earlier, the government used to write cigarette smoking is injurious to health. Then they changed it to saying cigarette causes cancer. Then also people don't stop. Now they have told the cigarette companies to depict the photos of cancer affected patients. Like you will see a photo, a person whose jaws has been cut, right? And all kinds of shapes has been distorted, his face has been distorted, just to have an audio visual effect on you. The visual effects last more, visual impressions. So all these governments have taken steps, but still people are smoking, people are getting into alcoholic drinks, people are getting into bad habits, you know so all these are self created problems. Okay, so the monk doesn't explain you repeatedly, but you listen to him once, and then in your mind, at your mind level, you contemplate on it, you analyze it. Okay, and that means repeatedly. You have to repeatedly analyze, you have to repeatedly contemplate, and then at some point of time, you will be able to take a decision on that. Okay, so this was the third point. Okay, the monks explains him repeatedly, but he does not pay any attention. So we does not pay into any attention with the good thoughts that comes to our mind every day. Each individual, even a person who is of criminal mind, he also get some good thoughts in a day. Okay, that is because of our past karmas. We are into this human life, so already we have a chunk of auspicious karma with us, which is coming into fruition, and that's why we are in this human life. That's why we have got all the comforts in this life. We have got this access to true God, true scriptures, and true monks. We have got access to these books. We have got access to this Paramagam honors course, you know, and on top of it, I have this attachment to explain you. So I am shouting every now and then how to get rid of this delusion, you know all these associations. Why you have got? Because of your past karmas. Okay, but you don't pay any attention. Todamalji says that you don't pay any attention. He does not pay any attention. Why? Because of the glory of delusion. Moh ki mahima. Moh is so powerful. So he doesn't allow us to get out of his control. He's controlling us since time immemorial. And the whatever efforts we try to make to come out of his uh, control, still we are not successful because he's so powerful. That's what is being explained here. So for each point, you can give examples from your personal life. I'll be very happy if you are able to give examples, although it is an optional, because I know everyone would not be able to contemplate and find out and connect this topic with their personal life, that this is our problem. Precisely, absolutely, with perfection. Uh, Todamalji is explaining us, but we don't pay any attention just because the glory of delusion. Moh ki mahima. Number 4 point. And if he also perceives the truth rightly, he understands the truth rightly, even then he does not believe in it and believes contrarily. Now, this is the height of delusion, He perceives the truth, he is able to understand, he is able to understand that this is what is being said is true. Even then, he does not believe it. He has the facts in his mind, but he does not believe it. For belief, you need to apply contemplation, thinking, analysis, time and again, time and again, time and again. Then that thing becomes clear. Are you to you're getting my voice, no?
Your voice had gone for some
Yes.
moment, sir.
Yeah,
Now we
yeah,
are
yeah.
getting
Because
it.
a call has come, so
Okay.
that was the problem.
It's up. Yeah, it's coming now.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, fine. Okay. So the fourth point, and if he also perceives the truth rightly, even then he does not believe in it. Now that belief does not allow. So for belief to evolve, you have to read it again and again. You have to contemplate it. When the reading is there, the contemplation follows. Okay. Not every time, but there is a chance of contemplation if you read something, right? So first part would be reading. The second part would be contemplation, analysis. And the third part would be decision making, which is again a fallout of contemplation, okay, which is a byproduct of contemplation. And when the decision comes in, that means your knowledge has been upgraded. Now you are good with this knowledge all the time, 24 hours. That knowledge works for you. So, all our efforts are bringing in so much of benefit to us if we are able to understand this. Okay. So he does not believe in it and believes contrarily. Again, moh ki mahima. Okay. Now, the next paragraph, the same is being explained here. So these 4 points, now these 4 points are being um, uh, explained further with examples. But I have considered it as a separate point. Okay. So this fifth point coming up, when death occurs, the body and the soul clearly get separated. Okay. So uh, if you analyze a bit, you will be able to realize all these things. Okay. When death occurs, the body and the soul clearly get separated, right? The body remains here and the soul is gone. The eyes are there, the ears are there, like the dead body seems to be a live body, a person like sleeping, but it doesn't function anything. And we all realize this truth, and we never keep the dead body in our home. Okay. We call the doctor and the doctor certifies that the person has died, and then we take this body and burn it. Why? Because we all realize this truth that the soul has gone. Our father is there no more, our grandfather is not there no more. Okay. So all these truth we are able to accept, and at that point of time we believe, we not don't be, we don't believe it, but we only uh, get this knowledge that this body and the soul are different. One example. Another example. Leaving one body, the soul reincarnates in other body, takes birth in another body. Okay. There, the peripatetic devas. Who is this peripatetic devas? We are going to have a very detailed discussions on this peripatetic devas, Vyantar. You know, this Vyantar is of 10 types. One of them is ghost, bhoot, bhoot, bhoot. You know, we scare the small kids. Bhoot aega, bhoot aega. So this bhoot is a Vyantar Dev, celestial being. You know, so there is this peripatetic devas. You must have read in the newspaper that in a certain village, a girl was there, 5 year old, illiterate. Their parents were illiterate. There were no school in the village. And because this peripatetic celestial being has come into his body, she starts talking in English. And the villagers are surprised, and they realize that some peripatetic devas has come. And the time he remains in that body, she starts talking in English. Her voice changes, and after some time, she becomes normal. So everyone knows that this is because the peripatetic celestial beings has come into his body. Why? Because of the past connections. You know. So whatever we do with our near ones right now, that bounds karmas also, and in some extreme cases they karm us to harm us again and again in different state of existence. These are peripatetic devas, vyantar devas, so there the peripatetic devas are seen disclosing the relations of their previous birth, but he cannot discriminate the self from the body. Why? Moh ki mahima, the glory of delusion. So clear cut evidences are there in our day to day life, but still we are not ready to accept the truth that this soul is eternal, it does not die, it only changes bodies. And that's why the peripatetic devas, the celestial beings, they come and take revenge. And in the hellish being also, the same things happens. One is killing the other is killing the other. All the time they are fighting among themselves. No respite for a single moment. All these miseries we have suffered since time immemorial. And still we are not able to accept the truth, understand the truth. We don't want to stop this cycle of life and death, life and death, life and death. Okay? So these kind of things we have been suffering, and some are very clearly apparent. But this fellow is not ready to listen. Why? Why? Any good answer? Why?
Sir, due to the glory of delusion, sir.
Yes, glory of delusion. Okay, very good. So the fifth point is covered. Now coming on to the sixth point, the wife, the son, etc. means all our close family members whom we have interactions on a day-to-day basis, are clearly seen to be the companions of their selfish motto. You know, your kid will say mama, mama, mama. But the moment you don't buy him the toys or the cycle or whatever he wants, he will become uh, enemy to you. Enemy to you means he will express his uh, disliking to you. And then again you have to explain him that beta, this is not that, and then he understands. So kids are very innocent, even they will have some disliking to you for a moment, the next moment they are also good. So this the wife, son, etc. are clearly seen to be the companions of their selfish motto. So now there is a fighting going on between Sanjay Kapoor's wealth, between the stakeholders. So the relationships are like that, you know. So the moment their selfish motto is not being served, they become an enemy of yours. There is enmity between brothers, there is enmity between spouse. So many things happening. A spouse is killing one another, just because their purpose is not getting solved. Their selfish motto is not getting done, you know. So all these we are able to understand and realize also on our day-to-day basis. If their self-interest is not served, instantaneously they are seen turning inimical. Inimical means opposite. Contrarily, they behave contrarily. They become our foes. But this misbeliever feels mineness in them. Still they believe that they are mine. And for fulfilling their desires, he indulges in various types of sinful acts, which becomes instrumental cause of his going to hell. So at the cost of doing harm to his own future, the attachment is so much to the family members that he wants to, the mindness is so much, the attachment is so much that he want to fulfill their desires, and for that he indulges into various sinful activities. एक number, दो number सब चलेगा. You know, there is a famous story of this Valmiki, the one who has written this Ramayana, the Hindi Ramayana. Okay, Valmiki, he was a saint, he was a sage. So, no, he was not a sage, he was a dacoit. Okay, and one day he came in contact with a sage, and the sage told him that, why are you doing this dacoity and all? Why can't you live a very good moral life? So then the dacoit replied that I have a family to maintain, and I have to earn for them. So I'm doing this dacoity. I'm earning this way. So then the sage asked him that go to your family members, that when you will get the fruits of these deeds, will they share with you? So the dacoit thought that, yeah, let me ask. So he went to home and told their family members, today I met a sage and he explained me this, uh, not to indulge in this activity, but I said that I'm doing for you. So when the time comes to serve the punishment, would you be sharing the punishment with me? So all the family members said that no, we are not going to share. Why? Because we never told you to do these things. You are doing this thing for your on your own, right? And then he realized that all these are selfish people, and then he gave up dacoity, and he also became a sage, and then he went on to write this Ramayana, Hindu Ramayana, not the Jain Ramayana. Okay, the Hindu Ramayana is written by this Valmiki. This is a true story. Okay, so this mindness, the first fifth point, it was oneness. Here it is mindness. The misbeliever feels mindness in them, and fulfilling their desires, he indulges in various types of sinful acts, which become instrumental cause of his going to hell, etc. Many other uh, state of existence. Number 7, wealth, property, etc. are seen changing hands, but he believes the same to be his own. So sometimes the Ambani is number one, sometimes Adani is number one. So it keeps on changing hands. Anil Ambani was the fifth richest at one point of time in India, and now he's bankrupt. So Amitabh Bachchan, he was also on a very high, but then he started this company ABCL and he went bankrupt. So this wealth, property, etc. are seen changing hands, but he believes the same to be his own. So this is again mindness, oneness, mindness. Further the condition, eighth point, further the condition of the body and the external property, etc. are seen getting created and destroyed of their own. He unnecessarily becomes the doer of them. Third point, doer of them. So oneness, mindness, doership. Okay, all these, the problems are very limited. Delusion has 4 pillars: oneness, mindness, doership, enjoyership. Okay, so this much only you have to manage, and your delusion will go away. There the work which goes right according to his will, about it he says I did it. So if things happen according to his desire, he said I did it. And if it goes wrong, then he says, what can I do? It's not in my hand. So here again, he is practicing deceitfulness. Rather, he thinks, so was to happen, or why did it happen like this? He's asking questions. But either he should have been doer of all such deeds, okay, when it is happening in the right perspective, then he becomes a doer. And when it becomes the opposite, he says that what can I do? But either he should have been the doer of all such deeds or should have remained the non-doer. But he does not think so. Why? because of the glory of delusion. Okay, so 8 points we have covered. Now each paragraph is 1 point. 9, 10, 11. Next, 9, 10 has got 2 paragraphs and 11 has got 1 paragraph. Okay, so each one I'll ask each one of you to read this. Okay, so the first one, Payal, you read the 9th point, then Rekha the 10th point, and Roshni the 11th point. So everyone would be covered. 9 point. Although he knows,
Although he knows that death is certain, yet being sure of his death, he does not do anything worth doing. Rather, he indulges in the activities concerning the present embodied existence only. And being sure of his death, he sometimes says, I will die and the body will be burnt. Sometimes, yes. Sometimes says, if my fame remains, I will remain alive. Sometimes says, if the sons, etc., will survive, I will survive. In this way, he prattles like a madman and thus remains unconscious about the self.
number 9 is over. So Payal, what is the problem? Why is doing such things?
He does not do anything worth doing. He indulges in activities concerning what the present moment is.
So what is the root cause?
Um, he doesn't remember. He doesn't.
So what is the root cause? Why doesn't he remember that he is a knower or an observer? He is not the doer. But why he doesn't remember that?
Because of this past, the wrong belief and the sanskars that
Wrong. Delusion. So the
delusion.
topic is glory of delusion. So delusion exists in so many forms that what Todom is trying to explain us. Okay. So this is how you analyze things. So different ways he's analyzing. Okay.
Hmm.
So 9th point is done. 10th, Rekha.
Although he knows well that he has to leave for next embodied life, yet he makes no effort for getting agreeable and avoidable and avoiding unagreeable associations for the next birth, and instead makes ceaseless effort in order that the generation of his sons, grandsons, etc., may remain in agreeable condition. Nothing unagreeable may happen to them. Although, after someone's death, the property collected in the present existence is not seen rendering any help. Yet, in spite of being sure of the next birth, he continues to protect and acquire property, etc., in this birth.
Top. So you see the influence of delusion. After someone's death, the property collected in the present existence is not rendering any help. But still, people keep on earning up to 60, 70, 80, and it's just increasing your net worth. But nothing is going to come with you. Instead of that, if there is enough for you for this birth, to live a very simple life, minimal uh, objects, life can be very easy. But he doesn't realize this. Why? Again, because of the influence of delusion. Okay, he has to leave this body, he has to get to the next birth, but he doesn't make any effort. So all this leads us to the conclusion that if you are not putting any effort to stop the cycle of death and birth, then you are doing nothing. Okay, so our first objective should be to get rid of delusion and to break the cycle of transmigration. Okay, so he does not makes no effort for getting agreeable. So it is not agreeable will be a good word, but desirable. Okay, he makes no effort for getting desirable and avoiding undesirable associations for the next birth. Okay, and instead makes ceaseless effort in order that the generation of his sons, grandsons, you know may remain in agreeable condition. Nothing unagreeable may happen to them. But again, each individual is independent. They have their auspicious and inauspicious karma along with them. Although you may provide much of wealth for your grandson, but he turns out to be an alcoholic. He indulges in all the wrong habits, and he just spends your whole money uh, into all these bad vices, and he again becomes a poor. So our idea to secure them doesn't work because they have their own punya and pap, right? So all these efforts, all these endeavors are very wrong in the first place. And wasting time after this precious time of human life, we don't know when we will get such a good birth with all these good associations that we have got. So our effort should be to understand these concepts very nicely, these principles, and apply it into our day-to-day life. And whatever the external objects come in our contact, or favorable or unfavorable, be in equanimity all the time. That skill you can develop right now, and that is what we are doing in every class. How to be indifferent in all situations, right? How to analyze things, how to contemplate, all this will help. Okay. So this is Totamalji has given us in explicit terms what we should do, where we are making mistakes, what we should not do. All the guidance is being given. Now only we have to understand it, adapt it, apply it in our day-to-day life, and be happy. The last point coming up, Roshni. 11th point. This is 11th point. Roshni is there? I think she's not able to unmute. Pratibhaji.
Okay. From here, right? Although after someone's death, the property collected in the present existence is not seen rendering any help, yet in spite
That
of
has
being
been done. That has
sure.
been done. Next paragraph.
Oh, next paragraph, sorry.
11th point. Yeah. And due to indulgence,
And due to indulgence in sensual pleasure, passional acts, and acts of injury, etc., he himself becomes unhappy and miserable, becomes foe of others, and reapproachable in this world, and becomes miserable in the next world also. All this is all he knows well, yet indulges in the aforesaid acts only. Although in many ways he himself perceives all this well, yet he believes, knows, and follows contrarily. So all this is the glory of delusion.
stop. So you see, uh, his whole life, you can just see the Totamalji has depicted the many mistakes that a person makes in his life. And even in spite of knowing it well, he indulges in such wrongful activities. Why? Because of delusion, glory of delusion. So, although in many ways he himself perceives all this well, yet he believes, knows, and follows contrarily. Contrarily means opposite. Okay. He does not in the wrong manner. So he believes, knows, and follows contrarily, although the facts have been presented to him just to make the decision, right decision, but he's not able to take the right decision, you know, and just because of delusion. So you see, whatever associations that we get because of our past karmas, that is not in our hand. But what action we can take now, what decision we can take now, that is in our hand. Because our present is fresh. Past, whatever mistakes we have done, doesn't mind. Because the present is in our hand. If we are able to understand it and comprehend it in the right manner and put in the right solution, we will be happy in the present. Okay? In spite of being in the past, we have done so many sins, we have done so many wrong things, but still The present is fresh, it is in your hand, and if you improve your present, your future is bright. Okay? Bright means you will get liberated, because these skills you can just unlock all the karmas. You can release all the karmas with this power of this knowledge that we have that we are acquiring from the scriptures. This Acharya have written the scriptures 2000 years ago. Earlier, there were no writing of scriptures. It was only passing through mouth to mouth publicity. But then people were not able to grasp this knowledge. So the Acharya thought of writing the scriptures, and this scriptures has come to us in that lineage of Acharyas, one Acharya to another Acharya. They have written the scriptures from time to time, and that's how the flow of this Jinvani has come to us. Okay. So this glory of delusion is very great. We accept it, but we are not, you can say, we are not dependent. We are independent to understand the scriptures and develop a strategy to get rid of this delusion in this very birth, in this very moment. Okay, we are independent for that. Okay. So it is like, in a movie, the hero, because of his wrong company, he gets into a wrong gang, and then sometime he realized that he's doing wrong, and he wants to come out of that gang. But that gang members doesn't allow him to come out. That gang member does not allow him to live a morally ethical life. Similarly, the delusion also doesn't allow us to get out. But if we put in good, powerful efforts by understanding this Jinvani, by improving our decision making power, by exercising the right choice at the right moment, we can get rid of this delusion very soon. It doesn't take much time, because after all, it is momentary. Okay? But the process takes some time, and we don't know how much we have done in our earlier life. Okay, it may happen that somebody who is listening to the scriptures first time, okay, never he has got access to the scriptures, but just listening to the one word, he can manifest right belief, because he must have worked very hard in the earlier birth, and that is the cause why some people, some souls in subhuman state, they get right belief. People get right belief in hell. Why? Because of their past connections, the past efforts that I have put in. So our every effort that we put in now is going to yield us wonderful results in the future. Okay, so uh, this is all about the glory of delusion. Now the conclusion coming up. One paragraph, two paragraphs are there. So Roshni, if you are good now, you can read.
Yes, sir.
In this way,
In this way, this Jeev is found indulging in wrong belief, knowledge, conduct from beginningless time. Due to this indulgence, the association of karmas creating several kinds of miseries in this world is found. These reserved dispositions alone are the seeds of all sorrows and none else. Therefore, O Bhavya, or capable soul, if you wish to get rid of sorrows, then eradicating of these wrong beliefs, etc., alienated dispositions, is the only act worth doing. By this way only, you will achieve the highest benediction. Thus, the fourth chapter describing the wrong belief, knowledge, conduct in the Moksha Marg Prakashak Shastra is concluded.
yes. So in the end, O Bhavya, okay, capable soul, if you wish to get rid of sorrows, then eradicating of these wrong belief, etc. Okay, wrong belief, etc. means wrong belief, wrong knowledge, and wrong conduct. But we know that once the belief turns right, the knowledge turns right, and the knowledge turns right, the conduct turns right. Okay, so those connections are there. So practically the problem is of the wrong belief. Okay, and in terms of solutions, now you have to be very creative. So this 11 points that we have discussed today, you can think on those lines and connect it to your day-to-day life and realize the mistakes that we have been making. Okay, this is optional. You may not write from your day-to-day life, but if you choose to write, I will read it, and this is for you only. Okay, so you have to analyze this, and this is your CC1. Okay, so last week only I gave you this homework. So for I thought you will be reading this and thinking about this. But anyway, today the topic has been covered, so you can start from today itself also. And within the next 15 days, you are supposed to complete this. I am giving you very short homeworks. I'm not giving you to, write 10 pages and all that like that. Because I know if you are able to understand the important things, purposeful things in the right manner, the other things will also fall in places. And this topic is so important, the glory of delusion. And in terms of solution, you have to write a comprehensive solution. What, according to you, you would be doing? What strategy you would be doing to get rid of this delusion, which is there since time immemorial? So I cannot see any other better opportunity to indulge in analyze this cause of the delusion that we are under it since time immemorial. Okay, so for uh, this homework offers you an opportunity to dwell deep into the problem and then come out with the right solution. And when you have the right solution in your mind, automatically the conduct also will follow. You will be able to practically put things in place in your life, and your life will become happy. Okay, so it is all interconnected. And having said that, uh, it's not that difficult. Okay, with proper uh, training, with proper study, with proper contemplation, analysis, you will be able to arrive at the right decision. And right decision is all what matters. One wrong decision and the life turns in a different direction, and one right decision and the life turns in the right direction. You get all the good connections. So there are many rags to riches stories in the worldly existence. We all know, like people start from zero and then they come in the top. But here is our journey of transformation. Okay, so you should be very excited to write about it, and you should find the best of solutions. I would like to see in how many ways you can think about the solutions. And one hint is there, you can apply the 4 expositions. Then uh, more creative you become. I will leave it to you. Sky is the limit. You've got enough studies so far to put things in perspective, and hopefully you will be able to do good justice to this topic. Any questions for today? Anything coming to your mind? You have to write Mythbuster also, half page. Okay, Mythbuster uh, is the topic where you write what your earlier belief were, and after reading this particular topic of CC1, what mistakes you have realized, and that you can share the half page. Okay, so that Mythbuster should also follow with this CC1. Okay, so this is your CC1 homework. Now, if you are any questions, we can take up. Otherwise, our time is over.
So today you said कि अगर if you react to something, तो कर्म बनते हैं.
Right.
Suppose somebody provokes you, get into an anger,
Yeah.
तो कर्म बनते हैं.
Right.
like these things happen normally, like just 2 days ago, a small parking issue. वो इतना
Yes.
flare up हो गया था कि even I did not give up and even they did not, so it flared up. So that means कि ये जो पढ़ रहे हैं हम, I have still not been able to implement it. I should have
No,
controlled
no,
my temper.
see, conduct is one thing, to put in practice is one thing, but understanding it is one thing. Okay. So you work at the understanding level. Okay.
Yeah.
And it will not come to your life immediately. It may take time, it may take births also. But at least in the understanding, now you are able to understand that the matter was very small and unnecessarily it
Yeah.
got flared up just because of the ego. Right. So this much awareness, if you are able to create, maybe the kind of sufferings that you undergo at that point of time will propel you to not to indulge in such activity when it comes up next time, because you have already
That's correct.
analyzed
Yes,
these
sir.
things. You have
Yeah.
analyzed these things. So understanding it is one thing, then coming into analysis is the second thing, and then putting into practice is all these are independent. It all depends on the eligibility of the moment. And one thing, just understand that not reacting is an outcome. So what is the positive part of that? Not reacting, I would say it's a negative part. So what would be the positive part? What action you will take? You have to take shelter in your soul. Okay. So when you
Yeah.
take shelter in your soul, then only the detachment manifest. Okay. So not reacting is one way of explaining it, but the underlying cause would be to take shelter in the soul. And for to take shelter in the soul, you have to position your self soul as something very attractive. Then the external things that seems to you very attractive. Okay, the sensual pleasures, the other things, name, fame, money, you know, where our life is engaged in. You just analyze yourself, and then you will find that why we are chasing this success in the outside world, because we feel that we will be happy with this. So then you go to those people who are successful in this worldly existence and ask them, "Are you happy?" And then you will realize, no, they are also not happy. So the wrong belief leads also to this kind of delusions. Okay. So what you have to do, you have to understand the things as they are. So the solution will come from this right understanding. Okay. So Srimadji said, Jay Swarup Samajya Vina Pamyo Dukh Anant. Just because you never realize the nature of your soul, the inherent nature, you are only a doer, you are only a knower, but you yourself believe to be a doer. So a right believer will also indulge in fighting like small things like traffic, parking and all. Ramchandra ji carried the dead body of Lakshman for 6 months, although he was a right believer. Okay. So don't expect anything immediately in terms of conduct, but the belief system has to be proper. Even Ramchandraji, when he was carrying the Lakshman's body, the Charitra Moh was there, but Darshan Moh was not there. The belief was still there that I am only a knower. I am not the doer of these bodily activities. The carrying of the dead body of the Lakshman, and then asking the trees and other things about Sita. Have you seen Sita? Have you seen Sita? Like that. So this kind of madness always happen, in spite of having the right belief. But the cause is charitramo. But here, if the belief is wrong, then the cause is darshanmo. So monia karma has got two divisions. Monia karma is deluding karma. So deluding karma is two division. One is faith deluding karma or belief deluding karma. The second one is conduct deluding karma. So first get rid of belief deluding karma, which is called delusion. Okay. Conduct deluding karma will go away gradually. It will take time. If a fan is moving, now you want to stop that fan. What you do? You just switch off. And the fan slowly it slows down and then it stops one moment. Okay, it doesn't stop immediately, you switch off. So similarly, the conduct deluding karma takes time. Okay, but the wrong belief has to go first. So we are working on the belief system in the first place. Understand things as they are in the right perspective, and then gradually the conduct will follow. Okay, so again,
Understood.
don't get into the wrong track. Things will happen for some time. Ramchandraji's example is a classic example because he was a destructional right believer, Shaikh Samyak Drashti. We may say that his Samyak Darshan had gone, but no, he was a destructional right believer, Shaikh Samyak Drashti, and Shaikh Samyak Drashti never falls. Okay, so in his life, Bharat Chakravarti, he was a right believer, destructional right believer, Shaikh Samyak Drashti, but still he indulges in 96,000 marriages. And the fighting, Bharat Chakravarti and Bahubali, both right believer. So all these things because of conduct deluding karma. Okay, so conduct deluding karma, the cause is the sthirta and asthirta. Okay, darshan moh is the main cause. Okay, so you mend the belief system and the conduct will gradually follow. Okay, so this was also a very good question, very important question, practical question, I would say. Any other questions? So we started 10 minutes late, so right now the time is over. Uh, Anything else? Still we can discuss. Okay, all are good. All the best for CC1. You should start today itself, otherwise you will forget everything and then it will take time for you to connect again. So it is better that you finish it off today. And the day you submit, same day, you should take an appointment with me and we will discuss it on call. But once you finish, I want this to take up one-to-one and immediately. The moment you submit, you just message me when we can meet and we can meet one-to-one and we'll discuss that. So the discussion is in your mind very fresh. And if there is anything to be done, we will discuss it at that point of time. Okay. So this is your homework. Uh, Meet up next week with a new topic, Krambat Paryay. I'll be sharing it in a day or two. The new PDF, very good quality from ChatGPT, and that whole translation team have worked so hard to get it in the right place. So we also acknowledge their efforts, and hopefully by Monday I will be able to share the PDF. You can take out a printout, or I will send a printout to each of you. Just send me your address. I'll send a printout. Okay. So let me know your address and I will send. I think I have got address of 8 to 10, only 2, 3 address I don't have. Rest of I have. So I'll get a printout and I will courier. Okay. I think Somya, uh, those who have got Chedala, I've got the addresses. But I think Somya didn't opt for, and one or two, the Roshni, you will take a printout at your end because the courier charge will be more than the printout,
Yes,
for you.
that's fine, sir.
Yeah, so you take a printout, but I would suggest everyone to take, means those who are overseas, for them, they should take a printout so that while you are studying, you can note down the good points. You can write out, and even when you are reading yourself, you can contemplate one line you read and one contemplate, and then something coming up your mind, you just highlight then and there. So that makes a very good, interesting reading. So I would always prefer for physical books. So the overseas students can take a printout, and Indian ones I will courier definitely. Okay. So Somya, you send me your address so I can send to you. And who else? One more was there whom I didn't send because he said I will manage with the PDF. Otherwise, I'll send all. Those who have got Chedala will get this. That is for sure. Okay. So other address, if I'm missing it, I will just ask for it and I will send. Okay. निज निधि निज में बताई, यह अनंत उपकार है। उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना 7 बार है। उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना 7 बार है। 9 times नमोकार मंत्र। जय जिनेन्द्र।